Hi everyone, Abby here, and welcome back to my channel for Tech Tuesday, or welcome if you're new. Now today, I'm going to be reviewing the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. Now I've had this smartwatch for weeks, I've been testing it out for you guys, and I'm going to share my honest opinion with you today. But before I get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you can stay tuned to all my new videos dropping weekly and so you can help the channel grow. So I have the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic here in the color white silver, and it also comes in another color which is black and silver. And the current price as of recording is $699.99 Canadian and $499.99 American. If you do buy it directly from Samsung, they do trade-in incentives, so if you have like an older watch you want to trade it in, you can end up getting some money off that way. I do have purchase links in the description below for you to check out as well. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go into the feature highlights about this watch so you can get an idea on what it can do. The Galaxy Watch 8 Classic here has a Super AMOLED color display. It has a durable sapphire crystal lens. It also tracks your daily metrics like your steps, your calories burned, your active minutes, your floors climbed. It has touchscreen operation and a rotating bezel. It has a built-in speaker and mic, and with that, you can take phone calls directly on your watch here, and it does have voice assistant built in. It does track a variety of indoor and outdoor activities like running, walking, yoga, weightlifting, dance. It also has built-in GPS. It has women's health monitoring, safety features built in. This smartwatch is only compatible with Android phones, and I've gone ahead and listed a bunch more specs on screen for you. As I mentioned, it does have a Super AMOLED display here. So with this, you can see vibrant, just punchy colors, looks great, super contrasting as well. And it does have a sapphire crystal lens, so it is quite reflective. But with the ample brightness here, it honestly combats that really well. As you guys can see, it is readable outdoors. Now, keep in mind when it is outdoors, I do have to pump up the brightness more or let the smartwatch, do the auto brightness thing just to make it readable. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, please go ahead and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Another thing I like about the display is that you change the font style. So this is the default, but there are other options too, which I really love. A lot of smartwatches don't give you that option. And then you can change it to be bolded or not. And you can change the font size, which I think is super beneficial for a lot of people out there, especially those of you out there who don't have the best eyesight. It could be super beneficial to see something like this versus seeing, something like that. So the Galaxy Watch 8 here is a pretty big smartwatch, and it does fit a variety of wrist sizes, which I've gone ahead and throw on screen for you. So I do have a 7-inch wrist. There's a lot of room left over here. I do find it comfortable to wear, so definitely could accommodate larger wrist sizes. This is not a small smartwatch by any means, so that can be beneficial for those of you out there who want a bigger watch. Now, I do like this band. I think it looks really nice. It kind of has like a leather look. It looks like a classic watch. This looks really nice and premium. And something I really like about this is that on the bottom side, it is silicone. So if you're gonna wear this to work out, you don't have to worry about like the leather getting all sweaty and like kind of messed up, because the bottom side's all silicone and it's easily washable. The crimped pattern here I think is a really nice touch because it actually provides little like air pockets in a way, so your wrist doesn't get as sweaty when you're working out or in hot weather. With the band here, which is this one touch band, I don't like it. I just don't like the changing mechanism of it. It just gets stuck all the time when I try to take it off and put it on, so I'm not a fan. I prefer just like the traditional pin watch bands that were on previous versions of the Galaxy Watch and on a lot of other watches and smartwatches out there. I do find the smartwatch to be comfortable to wear. So if I'm wearing it, all day, even to sleep, I don't have an issue doing that. And I do find it decently lightweight for the size. Now, when it comes to my preferences, I definitely think the smartwatch is too big for my wrist. It basically takes up my entire wrist size. Definitely would have loved if Samsung came out with like a classic small version, because I think this is like their best looking Galaxy Watch. Alright guys, when it comes to the heart rate monitor on this smartwatch, it is very smooth. It doesn't leave any indents on my arm. I do find the heart rate sensor is pretty accurate. I can go as far as palpating my own wrist, counting the heart rate, and it does match up. So I think they do a really great job with the heart rate tracking. My only caveat is that by default, it does track your heart rate every 10 minutes. That is not great. That is missing a lot of data. If you are working out, it does track your heart rate, more consistently, but just on a regular every 10 minutes. And I wish that it was customizable, that I could change it to a smaller duration. The only thing is you do 10 minutes, or you can track it manually, spot checks whenever you want, or you can have it continuously. Now, doing this way, continuous, drains your battery life a lot. So another thing you can do is you can track your ECG. To do your ECG tracking, you're gonna need your phone. I'll just give you guys a little demo here. You gotta put on your wrist, you gotta wear it high up on your wrist, and then you gotta press your finger lightly on here. Something I don't like about this is that it kind of takes a long time. 30 seconds is a long time to just sit and wait. It shows your actual sinus rhythm, like your heart rate rhythm, live. So if I move around, you guys could see that threw it off a lot. So it's a nice helpful tool just for kind of like checking yourself. The quoted battery life of the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic here is up to 40 hours on a single charge. Now, with my uses, I've done things like GPS walks, runs, using daily alarms, timers, using the voice assistant, and more. And I've gotten on average 24 to 25 hours of battery life with this watch. That's my battery life results with the optional always on display turned off. When I turn that on, I got about 8 hours less. And something that I notice especially is that if I'm doing GPS workouts, like if I'm going for a run, those types of activities drain the battery life really fast. And definitely a lot more than if you were doing an hour walk, indoors on a treadmill. So for me, the battery life is definitely disappointing. I don't like it. I don't like having to charge my smartwatch every day. I find it so annoying, but that's just me. There's a lot of you out there who maybe you're used to charging your smartwatches every day. Maybe you're coming from an Apple Watch or a previous Galaxy Watch, something like that, where you're used to it. So it does have fast charging, and I found that this goes to 0 to 100% in about an hour and 10 minutes. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna talk about women's health. So for my men out there, or anyone else who doesn't wanna see this, you can go ahead and use my timestamps in the description below and skip to the next section. I'm gonna be talking about sleep tracking. With the Women's Health app, you are going to basically be tracking your menstrual health, your period data. Checking, when your next cycle is going to be. It has a period prediction. You can get predicted ovulation dates. You can get fertile window estimations, things like that. You can track your period metrics, so you can track your flow intensity, you can track your daily symptoms every single day, whether you're on your period or not. So you can log them on your watch or you can log them on the phone. There's just some symptoms that, are common. And there's also moods that you can select as well. I do like that there's a good amount of mood options. Samsung used to have less, so there's a bit more, which is nice to see. You can add your sexual activity. You can add if you have any cervical mucus. You can add if you have any spotting that you're experiencing. And if you take ovulation tests, you can put the results in here as well. And show you guys on the phone what it looks like here. You can see your fertile window, like just basically the same data you were seeing before, ovulation, predicted dates, predicted period. You can track your skin temperature if you want to as well. You can log your daily symptoms. I don't know why they do this. They literally just shove a bunch of text, not even alphabetical order. Like, this does not look appealing to me. I mean, they do have the data here, but I just don't like the way that they, go about it. Now, overall, I do find that it's a tool that can be helpful for you if you want to track your daily metrics over time and seeing kind of how that stuff changes. And I will say when it does come to the period prediction, I do find it to be accurate about like 9 times out of 10. Sometimes it's off by a day or so. So this smartwatch tracks your sleep and it also has a built-in sleep coach. When it comes to tracking your sleep in particular, it does track a good amount of metrics for you. So when you wake up, you are going to see your sleep. Now you're going to need to connect it to your phone first for the phone to process it and get you all the data. But once you do, you'll see something like this. So my sleep for last night, you can see I got a 72 as my score. So it's out of 100 there. They give you a sleep message, the hours of sleep. They tell you when you fell asleep, when you woke up. They tell you some information about your sleep as well. So actual sleep time needs attention. They give you your deep sleep, your REM sleep, restfulness, sleep latency. They show you a little graph of your sleep stages. They show you movement, and then they show you your sleep stages as well. So time awake, REM sleep, light sleep, and deep sleep. You can also see your skin temperature fluctuations here, your average heart rate, your respiration rate, and your sleep consistency in the week. And you get a little sleep animal as well. And your sleep animal can change over time depending on your sleep habit. If you watched my previous video, I was not a lion. I had a different sleep animal, which you can check out there. But my sleep patterns have gotten better over time. With the sleep coaching, it is saying that this week, these are the recommendations, give you some more tips to improve your sleep. When it comes to looking at the actual metrics, the sleep stages are off. I know for a fact yesterday I was awake more than 24 minutes. I purposely got up, I walked around, I was in bed reading, and it didn't really show any of that. Despite that being off, their actual sleep coach I do find was helpful. Some good tips on some things I can do to have better sleep patterns. If you snore, they can detect that. You can turn on snore detection. If you don't know if you snore, you can turn that on to see if you snore. So I think that's pretty cool as well. You can listen to music on the smartwatch. So you can choose to stream or download music on here to listen to it. As I mentioned, it does have a speaker. You can play music directly off the speaker here, or you can also play it off of Bluetooth headphones that you have connected. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little sample of how the speaker sounds. In my opinion, the speaker sounds okay, but it just it's a bit muted in some areas. So it doesn't have like a good treble. And that's something I notice when I'm on the phone sometimes. If people have like higher voices, it makes their voices sound a little weird. It's still clear, even when it's at max volume. And the speaker, definitely usable. Yeah, I do think it's cool that you can have music on here. You can use providers like YouTube Music, Spotify, Deezer. You can download music and play it off of like your Samsung Music and more. All right guys, so when it comes to activity tracking with this smartwatch, it does a pretty good job. So I'm just gonna show you guys all of the activities here. So on the screen, you're just seeing a couple of highlights. When you go here, you can see everything. So I'm just gonna show you guys all of them here. Now, one thing I like is that they are in alphabetical order, so it makes it easy to find. They really track basically everything. Now, I did ask you guys in a previous video, what are they missing? And somebody said gardening, but that's the only thing that I can think of. You know, if you do that as exercise, they don't have that in here, but I think they have basically everything. If there's anything else you guys think that, you know, they're not tracking, put in the comments. I was really impressed to see that Samsung tracks a lot of activities. And some less common ones I don't see on many smartwatches is dance, and they track that. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So when your activities are going, you can see the duration, the calories, you can see your heart rate zone. That's basically it for this one. Now, if I was to do a different activity, like let's say I was doing cycling, you could see your distance, I could see my average speed, I could see the duration, you know, the calories I burned, you can see the time there, the pace. So you definitely can get more information. It really depends on the activity you're tracking, but I find you can't really edit those screens. And for some of the activities, you get very few amounts of data and screens available. You could see kind of, if it's a GPS thing, you could see the route like this, but it doesn't show you like the map because it doesn't have built-in maps. If you're doing GPS activities, I do find that the smartwatch does take some time to accurately get your pace correct. So if you're someone who's doing running and walking intervals, as I'm working out, it does take some time for it to actually adjust. The other thing I wanted to mention is your step tracking. So far, in my opinion, the Galaxy Watch here has been spot on. I have done a couple of tests where I've walked 100 steps. I've done this 3 times, and every time when I was on step 100, the smartwatch was also on step 100. It's been spot on. And if you're looking for like your blood pressure, your stress, your antioxidant index, your body composition, I think it does that stuff well also. But overall, I do find the activity tracking to be really good. I just wish that it was a bit more customizable in terms of the data screens there. It is a touchscreen operated smartwatch. To turn on the display, you can simply just tap the display. You can press any of the buttons here, and if you have gestures turned on, you can go ahead and turn the watch towards your face and the screen will light up. So once you do have the smartwatch on, you can swipe down to get to your settings and kind of quick things. Like if you want to turn off the volume, maybe you want to put on vibrate. You can hop into settings here and change even more. If you swipe to the right, you go back. If I swipe to the right from the home page, you can see smartphone notifications here. If I swipe again, you can see even more notifications. You can clear them all. When it comes to your notifications, if you have a text come in, you can go ahead and you can reply to that. Like you can use a pre-made response or you can type a response even. If you swipe up, you will see your apps here. If you do want to, you can place a phone call. If your phone is within Bluetooth range, it will call. Now this is the app view with the little circles that I personally like, but if you don't like that, you can go ahead and use the list view and you will see your apps like this. Just looks a bit cleaner. So there's 3 buttons at the side here. This down button here, you can use it to go back. This button here can be set to a shortcut. For me, I have it set to open up activities. So I can just start a workout here. And to start a workout, you're just gonna click on one, it's gonna start. And if I press the top button here, it doesn't really do anything. If I hold it, opens up voice assistant. So you can go ahead and get your voice assistant to do voice assistant things, like you can text people, you can call people, you can set timers, ask it the weather, you can ask for directions, and more. And the new Google Gemini I do find is pretty helpful too. If I do swipe to the left from here, you can see all of the widgets I have on here. And then you have to like scroll down to see everything. So this is like the new UI. So you swipe and then you have to scroll down, and I don't really like it, to be honest. I prefer on the older versions where I can just swipe and just see everything at a glance instead of swiping and then swiping again. And if you want to at any time, you can click on any of those, then it just opens it up into a larger view. And if I hold the bottom button here, it opens up Samsung wallets. If you want to change your watch face, you can go ahead and hold down the watch face here and then, choose a different watch face or customize them. Something I really like about the operation is the rotating bezel. It just makes it like super quick to just get through things. And if I'm looking at the apps, it's quick to scroll down and up. I just find it fun to use, and it just makes it faster to navigate the watch. So that's the basics of how to use the smartwatch here. Not too hard in my opinion. It might take some people a couple of days to get comfortable with it, especially if it's new for you, but honestly I do find it pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna show you guys the ones that I have on here. And you can customize most of them by changing the color or changing some data fields that are available. You guys can see I do like my purple. And there's a lot more that you can download as well. If you do like classic analog looking watch faces, they have some nice options as well. So there's definitely a good amount of watch faces here. I do like this one in particular because I get a good amount of information. I can see my battery life, I can see heart rate, external activity, a shortcut there, see the weather, steps, and more. So I do like that Samsung has a good amount of watch faces that can show you a lot of information there for you at a glance. All right guys, so I've noticed some cons about the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic here. So the first con for me is that you need your phone for almost everything. So this is a common con with Galaxy Watch. If I want to get my sleep data, if I want to do my ECG, pulse ox, or if I want to get blood pressure, antioxidant reading, any of that, you need your phone for it because your phone is going to process the data and then send it onto your watch. So that is a con for me because I don't like to constantly have my phone's Bluetooth on and have it draining my battery life faster, and I kind of need that on with the smartwatch to do all of these things. And I just like when the watch is smart enough to do all of that stuff on its own, so I don't have to rely on my phone, so I don't have to constantly be on my phone. Another con for me with the Galaxy Watch 8 here is the blood oxygen. The readings I got have been routinely low, and I don't know why that is, but usually I'll get a reading of between 93 to 97% on this smartwatch. Now that doesn't happen to me on other Galaxy smartwatches that I've used, but this one just comes up low. So I definitely think it's not accurate because my normal is between 99 to 100%, and this one is just too low. Now I did try this on some other people and it routinely did get, lower results, and nobody got 100. So I definitely think it's a bit off there. And another con for me is the battery life. The battery life of this smartwatch is just poor. Like I said, it only lasts me around 24, 25 hours, so I gotta charge it every single day. And that's just a hassle for me because if I wanna go on like vacation, or I can't just charge it, go for a week like I can with some of my other smartwatches. But with the Galaxy Watch here, I gotta make sure I bring my charger with me. I think I'm just used to just other brands that have a lot longer battery life. And when I get smartwatches that can't even last a day or just last like 24 hours, it's just not great for me. So it's something I do definitely find annoying having to charge the smartwatch every single day. And the last con that I've noticed, the watch keepers, these little like things here, they constantly move and it is so annoying. Usually my smartwatch looks like this because these will move and I'm like, oh man, I just gotta like fix it. It happens like every single hour and it's just really annoying to me. All right guys, so considering the price, the quality, the color, the comfort, the battery life, the performance, the ease of use, and everything like that, I'd go ahead and give the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic here an 8.6 out of 10. I definitely do give it a thumbs up. So if you guys are looking to pick up the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 Classic here, I've gone ahead and left a link down in the description for you to use. And if you guys are looking to check out something a little bit more compact, check out my review on the Galaxy Watch 8 40mm, which I have linked in the description for you. And if there's anything I missed today that you want to know, go ahead and drop a comment below. I do read all the comments and I always love hearing from you guys. All right guys, so for those of you who have stayed tuned to this point in the video, thank you so much for sticking around. And just as a sneak peek on what is coming, I will be reviewing the new Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra 2025 edition. Now this is a big smartwatch, definitely something new for me. So definitely stay tuned for my honest full review on this smartwatch here, which will be dropping on an AbbyBReviewing Tech Tuesday soon. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.